With only 20 days until the 2024 election on November 5th, Donald Trump is at his biggest lead in the entire race up until just now. He's up in the betting markets by a record 17 percentage points. In fact, when you look at this, Donald Trump is at over 58 percentage points. Kamala is at a measly 41 and change. I mean, it's actually appalling. You look at the swing states right here, the coloration and the gradients. Donald Trump is winning in Arizona. He's winning in Georgia. He's winning in North Carolina. He's winning in Pennsylvania. And then there's three little states that are left. And with the ones that are already Republican, he's winning the election. Now, what's even crazier is that if you were to refer to the polling numbers insofar as 2020 is concerned, you'll notice that, again, these states were super close. You look at Pennsylvania, it was a Biden win officially by 1 point, Georgia 0.24. You can see how close it all was realistically. We take a look at Kamala's polling right now. When you look at the real clear polling aggregate, you'll see that when the political polling is really enumerated, you'll see that Kamala Harris is only leading in the popular vote by 1.3. Now, this is actually really bad because at surface value, of course, oh my God, Kamala's up by 1. But the truth is that she needs to be up by upwards of 3 to 4 percentage points in the popular vote to actually win. This is not like the year 2000 where actually being tied is going either way between, let's say, Al Gore or George W. Bush. It's more so that obviously the Trump vote is more rural and the vote for Kamala is deeply urban. Well, it's twofold. It's really a two-sided sword because on one end, you've got, again, the Electoral College, which deeply favors Republicans and namely Donald Trump, who can tap into a white working class, low propensity voter base, which is hard to quantify in polls. So you have a multiple effect sort of thing going on here, an elixir really, where you have Donald Trump, who, again, is closer to winning in the polls than he ever has been, exemplified by even where he was on October 15th of 2016 against Clinton, where again he was down by 6.7, or against Biden, where he was purportedly down by 9.4. As human beings with a pulse and a memory longer, a little bit longer than a goldfish, we understand that going back 4 or even 8 years, that Trump outperformed the polls massively, even if in 2020 Biden won. Which is to say, of course, that again, the polls are underestimating Trump just using logic, but also that even if they're not, he's still winning because again, Hillary Clinton won the popular vote by over 2 points and ended up still losing. And so if Kamala is only up by 1.3, that's remarkable. And again, last week, Kamala was up in the popular vote by 2 points. She lost zero point 0.7 of that margin, which is fantastic because you look at the 2020 result, you add zero point 0.7 to the swing states, and you'll notice almost immediately that when you look at these, again, zero point 0.7 votes to the right makes Arizona go Republican. You go to Georgia, like I said, it goes Republican. You go to Wisconsin, it flips Wisconsin. Trump wins the election just off of this alone. Remarkable. But to revisit Polymarket, which is the gambling website, you'll notice that Trump has a 68% odds of winning Arizona, which is fantastic. You'll see that Georgia is also a 64% odds of Trump winning. North Carolina has Trump at 63%, even with the hurricane and everything. Pennsylvania, which is a miracle, again, the biggest swing state with 19 electoral votes. It used to have 21 back then. Trump is winning 56 to 44. You've got some other states like Nevada, which is by far the smallest state when it comes to population. It has only 6 electoral votes. The next smallest state in this case would be Wisconsin with about 10 and Arizona with 11. Anyway, with 6 electoral votes, Nevada is at 51% for Trump, 49 for Harris. So he's actually winning this one for now. And the betting odds. You go to Wisconsin, Trump is winning it 53 to 47%. You look at Michigan, Trump is actually up 54 to 46%. So literally, Donald Trump is up in every single one of the 7 battleground states. Not to even mention that when you look at the battleground states, Donald Trump is up about zero point 0.6 percentage points in all of them combined, whereas last week Trump was only up by 0.1%. So his lead nationally, the margin for Kamala has shrunk by zero point 0.7, and in the battleground states, Trump has gone up by zero point 0.6. So again, those actually line up mathematically, those margins. And so this is a great shift for Donald Trump. The shift really, because again, that is in 1 week, he's up a half a point, which again begs the question, well, that's not a big deal. But then again, you look at these margins, these were razor thin. Again, less than 1%, less than 1%, less than 1%, this was 1.3 for Trump. North Carolina was. So huge. Now, moving on. Now, this is somewhat insane, okay? So, as of recently, if you haven't noticed, Barack Hussein Obama has been brought out of retirement realistically, now in his 60s, very cynical, probably hates his own voters, theoretically. He goes out and, there's this whole memo in the Kamala camp that she's losing young black men And as somebody who has some acquaintances, I can totally see why they would. Because a lot of black men, again, we're talking about guys between, let's say, my age of 21 to 40. These guys are just a little bit dispassionate. Obama was kind of black, but also cool. Objectively, I could say, he had some sauce, let's say 15 years ago. In kindergarten, I would have thought, okay, this guy's kind of cool relative to what, John McCain, but still. All right, but nowadays, he's falling apart. Never mind the whole like ashtray hairline, whatever. But we're talking about specifically the lack of passion. The guy just hates his life. He lives in Martha's Vineyard with the white folk. And frankly, it doesn't seem like he likes it. But anyway, he goes and talks to black men for Kamala, 30-year-old guys. And they grew up with Obama being their president in high school and everything. They did not give a crap what he had to say. He goes and he says something like, oh, that Trump economy, man, he didn't do nothing. That was all me, stuff like this. Bitter. But anyway, Kamala Harris, knowing that she's losing the black vote. And again, black people will overwhelmingly vote for Kamala, especially the women. Granted. But young black men who would probably vote for Obama in 2008, like 90% Democrat or more. Dictatorial margins, really. I mean, they talk about Putin. Look at the black vote for Obama. Bananas. But anyway, I mean, would you vote for John McCain? Probably not. So anyhow, you see that they voted, again, 90% Democrat. But when you go to nowadays, when you put Kamala versus Trump, in fact, about 1 in 3 black young men are voting Republican, which, again, they're not going to vote Trump. But relatively, when you're going from 10% Republican to 35 or whatever, that's a huge difference. Because think about all the states that black people actually have a good minority status in. Like, for example, how many black people are in Philadelphia? I mean, this really makes a difference at the margins in Pennsylvania. Detroit, Michigan, again, Wayne County, that whole swing state. Georgia, Gwinnett County, DeKalb, Atlanta, all that. Big difference. Arizona, not that many. Obviously, doesn't make a difference. Nevada, not really. But again, the black vote in these states, like, again, Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Detroit and Michigan, Philadelphia and Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania. And then you've got Atlanta and Georgia and all these other places. So huge. And North Carolina. Anyway, Kamala Harris has a new cope. So look at this. Vice President Harris will deliver for black men. First and foremost, cringe. For you to make an explicit appeal, not only to just black people, because that in and of itself is kind of like, it's also black men. Which kind of shows how desperate they really are. It really maps out this whole prognosis, okay? Trump's up by 16, 17 percentage points in the gambling odds, which are historically more accurate than the polls, by the way, which is why I'm lending credence to them. You look here that, again, the desperate nature of the campaign for Kamala shows just exactly how much they're down by. Now, she will provide tools for black men to build wealth, support their families, and lead in their communities. Okay, now this is the funny part of the video, folks. Like the video if you're this far in, and subscribe if you haven't yet. Anyhow, so plan number 1 for getting the black male vote. That's basically the implication here. So number 1, providing 1 million loans that are fully forgivable to black entrepreneurs and others to start a business. Okay, what the hell? Again, I'm not black, so I'm jealous. But I have every right to be. And imagine you're some like suburban taxpayer paying for this garbage, okay? 1 million loans that are fully forgivable to black black entrepreneurs. Okay, that is an implication that is so gross. If you're giving a forgivable loan, that basically is a formality. You're just giving somebody a grant at that point. Okay, you're a black business. And again, what is the criterion? Like, if I decide, like, oh, I want to have a black business that is, like, completely inane. Like, I'm going to sell Pokemon cards as a young black man. Kamala's going to be like, okay, forgivable loan, which, again, is just free money. The whole point of the loan is that you pay back with interest, right? And you can argue, okay, usury, whatever. Okay, but to say fully forgivable, again, at whose behest? Government, taxpayer funds? Okay, so now you're getting white people and everybody else to pay theoretically for black young man to get a business. And again, what is the criterion for this? What makes you so sure that this is like a concrete business and not something that is like hokey? Really? So this is just a ridiculous pandering for votes. I mean, think about it from the Trump point of view. Flip the scenario. Trump goes, I want the blue collar vote. So I'm just gonna get 6-packs for everybody. I mean, it's like the equivalent. Like, I'm just gonna give you guys free loans that you don't have to pay back. What a stupid, insulting Stupid policy. And then you look at number two, championing education, training, and mentorship programs that help black men get good paying jobs in high demand industries and lead their communities, including pathways to become teachers. So, what does that even mean? A platitude. Okay, thank you very much, Kamala. Three, supporting a regulatory framework for cryptocurrency and other digital assets so that black men who invest and own these assets are protected. What the okay, do white people not own crypto? In fact, and again, maybe I don't have enough life experience, but of the few people I know that are interested in crypto, are they not all white guys? Like the same type of guys that are into sports gambling are into crypto. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe this is like a college guy sort of thing, but like again, maybe I just don't know enough black people, but like really crypto? And why would you say that for young black men and not everybody? Like, why? So you're gonna go out of your way to protect black cryptocurrency, but not everybody else's? What the like? What? At least with the forgivable loans, you see the angle here. Like, if you're black, you could say like, okay, I'm getting a free thing. But here it's like, oh, I'll protect your crypto. It's like, okay, but why me specifically? Like, can you not defend everybody else's? What's up? Anyway, launching a national health and equity initiative focused on black men that addresses sickle cell disease, diabetes, mental health, prostate cancer, what the fuck, and other health challenges that disproportionately impact them. Again, embarrassing, a little bit TMI. Like even Kamala at a rally is gonna be like, Tyrone, I'm gonna help you with your prostate. It's like, dude, what the hell is going on, folks? Let's not talk about prostate cancer. Maybe I'm immature. Old people in chat, tell me if I'm being immature. I'm 21. I do not want to hear about it. Sickle cell. Okay, whatever. Okay, number five, legalizing recreational marijuana and creating opportunities for black Americans to succeed in that new industry. So now this absolute hypocrite who, again, locked people up over weed, which, by the way, I'm not a big weed guy. Go at it. But anyway, legalizing recreational marijuana. Okay, you could argue that, whether or not that's a good thing. But why is that in the black platform? Legalizing weed, most people that smoke marijuana are white. Okay? So what the fuck, like, if anything, if she were doing like a, delivery for like gay white dudes, here's the weed platform. But no, you're going to the young black men saying we're going to legalize weed. What? Black men don't even smoke weed any more than the white people. Or at least like numerically, just in it, like when you really put it in the macro sense, I don't know. I'm having an aneurysm reading this in real time. Maybe I should edit this more succinctly, but like Jesus. But anyway, creating opportunities for black Americans to succeed in the weed industry. Imagine your president saying that, okay? You're Roosevelt and you're fighting the war against the Germans. You think Roosevelt would have said, let's legalize marijuana for black people or for anybody for that matter and help y'all sell weed? Like, how tacky is this? Like, beneath the Oval Office. You think the people that stormed Normandy were fighting for the rights for black young Americans to not even smoke weed, who cares, but to sell it in a way that is better than like, what even is this like what is it her point? Creating opportunities for black Americans to succeed in the industry by what? Like giving them like free legs up, giving them a tax credit, giving them money to start a weed business? What? And who's paying for this, by the way? Anyway, Jesus, I don't know. Maybe I'm just too nakedly pro Trump, but like my God, even if he said that, I would have been like, dude, what the hell? But anyway. But anyway, the long and short of it, folks, is that Donald Trump is leading Kamala by more than he has ever done in the past 8 years. I love to see it. Vindication is right around the corner, baby. 3 more weeks. Oh my God, I cannot wait. So, anyways, I'll see you on the next one. Adios. And like the video, subscribe if you haven't yet, comment down below. I'll get to every single comment, I promise. See y'all. Bye.